Good day, folks. Today, let's talk about the Korean Peninsula. Now, the Korean War has been an ongoing war for decades now. There's no official end to the war, there's no peace treaty. It is simply an armistice. So, technically, the two sides are still at war. So, let's talk about how this war can be officially ended once and for all. In order to get a peace treaty, we need to understand why there is war to begin with. The North proclaims sovereignty over the entirety of the North and the South. The South proclaims sovereignty over the entirety of the South and the North. So there are two governments here declaring their sovereignty over the entirety of the Korean Peninsula. There are overlapping claims. But what if they just said, no, let's just end all competing claims? So what if they just divided the Korean Peninsula along the current demilitarized zone as it is where it is right now? What would that mean? It means that the North renounces all claims to the South and the South renounces all claims to the North. And because there are no official claims of sovereignty, there's no reason for active hostilities to claim one another's land. There's no reason to actually invade one another. And with that, we can actually get a peace treaty in the long run and end the war once and for all officially. Now, what would this mean politically? Well, in the South, I know there are a growing number of people, young people in particular, who are not very fond of the idea of reuniting with the North. And I know the older generation, they have most of the political power, but with any other generation, they will probably die out very soon. So as the younger people come to power and the idea of reunification becomes ever less popular, I think it is politically feasible in the South. Now in the North, it's going to be a little different there, because I know that the propaganda has instilled in the minds of every citizen that there is only one Korean peninsula, one Korean nation, and the North should claim sovereignty over everybody. Getting them to accept a different outcome will be complicated, because if you think about it, in the end, it doesn't really matter what the people think in the North, because it's a dictatorship anyways. And the North, the Kim regime, they only have one goal above all else, and that is the survival of the regime. They can just force their population to accept it anyways. Not that it's, right to force people to believe whatever, but technically that is what they could do as an option. Now, what would this mean for the Kim regime? Well, they can just simply make peace, and then because there's no official hostilities, because there's no overlapping claims of sovereignty, they can redirect more of their budget towards domestic policies as opposed to their military. And this would finally give them the opportunity to improve as a country and not be such a pariah. I think that accepting an official partition of the Korean Peninsula would actually be a good thing for the North, because without a military threat, by having an official peace treaty, it would actually guarantee the survival of their regime. And, well, I'm not a fan of authoritarian regimes, but if that is, survival of their regime is their goal, that they take this seriously as an option. Now, this isn't about what I want. This is simply an idea for presenting a possible path to peace. This is probably not what the North Koreans want, but this is a path to peace. This is not what the South would probably want right now. But this is a path to peace. And regardless of anybody's opinions, I believe this is the most feasible path to peace. So I was just wondering, what do you guys think? Is this a good idea or a bad idea? So leave your comments in the section below and I'll take a look at them. Take care and signing off.